Hi everyone, Bill Nye here, and welcome to a shockingly fascinating adventure. Today we're diving into the world of electricity, a force so fundamental it powers our homes, our gadgets, and even our bodies. Get ready to explore 10 surprising facts about how humans went from fearing lightning to harnessing its power. We'll be traveling through time, from ancient Greece to modern marvels, uncovering the stories of brilliant minds and their groundbreaking discoveries. Did you know that electricity has been around since the Big Bang? It's true. But understanding it, well, that's been a bit of a journey, so buckle up because we're about to unravel the electrifying history of this invisible force. From the first sparks of static to the complex grids that power our world, we'll uncover the shocking truth about electricity. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single volt. Get ready to be energized because when it comes to understanding electricity, we're just getting started. Our story begins in ancient Greece, where philosophers first noticed something strange about amber. This fossilized tree resin had a curious property. When rubbed with fur, it attracted small objects like feathers and hair. Little did they know they had just discovered static electricity. Static electricity is all about charges. You see, everything around us, from the air we breathe to our own bodies, is made up of tiny particles called atoms, and these atoms contain even tinier particles called electrons, which carry a negative charge. When you rub amber with fur, you're essentially transferring electrons from one material to the other. The amber ends up with an excess of electrons, giving it a negative charge while the fur becomes positively charged. And just like magnets, opposites attract. These early observations, while seemingly simple, were the first steps on a long and winding road to understanding the nature of electricity. It would take centuries and many more curious minds to unlock the secrets of this invisible force. Now let's talk about one of the most iconic experiments in scientific history, Benjamin Franklin and his electrifying kite. It's 1752 and our founding father, a man of science and reason, sets out to prove the connection between lightning and electricity. Imagine this, a stormy day in Philadelphia, wind whipping through the air, and there's Ben Franklin with his son William flying a kite. But this was no ordinary kite. It was equipped with a pointed wire at the top to attract lightning and a silk string kept dry for conductivity. Now, I'm not suggesting you try this at home, it's incredibly dangerous. But Franklin, ever the cautious scientist, knew that lightning seeks the easiest path to the ground. He believed that the kite string, acting as a conductor, would provide that path, allowing him to draw down electricity from the storm clouds. And what happened next? Well, you'll have to wait for the shocking conclusion after the break. Hey there, science fans! Today we're diving into the shockingly cool world of electricity. And no story about electricity would be complete without mentioning Alessandro Volta, the Italian physicist who brought us the battery. Before Volta, electricity was mostly a parlor trick, a static shock here, a Leyden jar discharge there. But Volta, he envisioned something bigger, something with the potential to power the world. Volta's journey began with a frog, believe it or not. In the 1790s, his friend Luigi Galvani noticed a frog leg twitch when touched by two different metals. Galvani thought it was animal electricity, but Volta suspected something else was going on. He knew about static electricity, but this seemed different, like a steady flow of energy. Could it be, he wondered, that the metals themselves were creating this flow? Volta was onto something big. He experimented with different combinations of metals, stacking discs of zinc and copper, separated by cardboard soaked in salt water. And guess what? He created a continuous flow of electrical current. He called his invention the voltaic pile, but we know it better as the battery. Volta's battery was a game changer. It allowed scientists for the first time to experiment with a reliable and controllable source of electricity, no more relying on fickle static charges. This sparked a wave of new discoveries and paved the way for the electrical devices we know and love today. Get ready to be energized, science enthusiasts, because we're about to unravel the mysteries of electromagnetism with the brilliant Michael Faraday. Now we've talked about batteries, which store electricity. But how do we generate that electricity in the first place? That's where Faraday's groundbreaking discovery comes in. Born in 1791, Faraday's journey into the world of science was as unlikely as it was inspiring. With limited formal education, he was a true self-made scientist. He devoured books, attended lectures, and even landed a job as a lab assistant to the famous chemist Humphrey Davy. Talk about a lucky break. Faraday was fascinated by the relationship between electricity and magnetism. He knew that electric currents could create magnetic fields, but he wondered if the reverse was also true. Could a magnetic field create an electric current? This was a question that had stumped scientists for years, but Faraday was determined to find the answer. In 1831, after years of meticulous experimentation, he made a monumental breakthrough. Faraday discovered that moving a magnet through a coil of wire produced an electric current. This phenomenon, known as electromagnetic induction, changed the world forever. Howdy, science fans. Today we're shedding light on one of history's brightest minds, Thomas Edison, and his quest to bring illumination to the world. Now, Edison is often credited with inventing the light bulb, but the truth is a bit more, shall we say, illuminating. You see, the idea of electric light predates Edison. Other inventors had created early versions of incandescent lamps, but these early bulbs were either too short-lived, too bright, or too expensive to be practical for widespread use. Edison saw the potential for electric light to revolutionize daily life, and he was determined to create a bulb that was affordable, efficient, and long-lasting. Edison and his team of researchers at Menlo Park, New Jersey, known as muckers, tirelessly experimented with different materials and designs. They tested thousands of filaments, searching for the perfect material that could withstand the high temperatures needed to produce a bright, long-lasting glow. Finally, in 1879, after countless trials and errors, Edison achieved his goal. He created a light bulb using a carbonized bamboo filament that could burn for over 1,400 hours. This breakthrough marked a turning point in the history of electricity. So we've got these fantastic light bulbs, but how do we get power to them efficiently? That was a hot topic back in the late 1800s, literally. Thomas Edison championed direct current, or DC, which was great for short distances, but sending it long distances meant losing a lot of energy along the way. Enter Nikola Tesla, a brilliant Serbian-American inventor with a flair for the dramatic. Tesla believed in the power of alternating current, or AC, which could be efficiently transmitted over long distances with minimal energy loss. See, AC electricity changes direction constantly, kind of like a dance back and forth, while DC is a one-way street. This difference is key. By using transformers, we can easily step up AC voltage for long-distance transmission, then step it down again for safe use in homes and businesses. This ability to change voltage on the fly made AC a game changer for powering the world. But Edison wasn't a fan of AC, not one bit. He even went so far as to electrocute animals with AC to try and scare the public. Thankfully, common sense and science prevailed, and Tesla's AC system became the standard for power distribution. With Tesla's AC system paving the way, the stage was set for a revolution in how we generate and distribute electricity. The first central power plants began to emerge, lighting up cities and changing the way people lived and worked. It was a truly electrifying time. One of the earliest power plants was built by Thomas Edison himself in 1882, right in the heart of Manhattan, New York City. This pioneering station, the Pearl Street Station, used coal-fired steam engines to drive DC generators, providing enough power for about 5,000 lamps. Can you imagine the excitement of those first customers, finally able to banish the darkness with the flick of a switch? But DC's limitations were quickly apparent, and AC power plants soon took center stage. In 1895, the world's first hydroelectric power plant opened at Niagara Falls, harnessing the awesome power of the falls to generate AC electricity. This groundbreaking plant proved that nature's energy could be used to power our lives. These early power plants were just the beginning. As demand for electricity grew, so did the size and complexity of these powerhouses. From coal to hydro to eventually nuclear power, we've continually sought new and innovative ways to keep the lights on. Now, the Industrial Revolution was already in full swing by the late 19th century, but the arrival of widespread electricity supercharged it like never before. Factories that had once relied on steam engines and water wheels could now tap into a reliable and easily controllable power source. We're talking a real game changer here. Electric motors, more efficient and compact than their steam-powered predecessors, quickly became the heart of countless machines. They powered assembly lines, weaving looms, printing presses, and countless other industrial applications, leading to a surge in productivity and efficiency. Remember those factory scenes in old-timey movies with giant belts and gears everywhere? Yeah, electricity changed all that. This electrifying transformation wasn't limited to just factories. Electric streetcars and trains replaced horse-drawn carriages, making transportation faster and more accessible. Cities, once dark and dangerous after sunset, were illuminated by electric streetlights, extending the day and transforming urban life. And let's not forget about the impact on communication. The telegraph, powered by electricity, had already revolutionized long-distance communication. Still, the invention of the telephone took it a step further, allowing for real-time voice transmission. Imagine for the first time being able to hear the voices of loved ones miles away. We've got our heads screwed on straight, haven't we? We already talked about the light bulb, but what good is a light bulb without a reliable source of electricity? That's where the electric grid comes in. It's like a giant network of power lines and infrastructure that brings electricity from power plants directly to your homes, schools, and even to the screen you're watching this on right now. Imagine a spider web, but instead of sticky silk, it's made of wires carrying those incredible electrons. It all started small, with local grids powering neighborhoods and cities. But as demand for electricity grew, so did the grid. It became interconnected, like a superhighway of electricity spanning states and even countries. This interconnectedness is crucial, folks. If one power plant experiences a hiccup, other plants can pick up the slack, ensuring a continuous flow of electricity. Pretty neat, right? This complex system of power generation, transmission, and distribution is a marvel of engineering and a testament to human ingenuity. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. We need to think about sustainable energy sources and reduce our carbon footprint. We can't keep relying solely on fossil fuels forever. The future of the electric grid depends on our ability to innovate and embrace renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. From the moment we wake up to the time we hit the hay, electricity is an indispensable part of our lives. It powers our homes, our workplaces, our communication systems, and so much more. It's hard to imagine life without it, isn't it? Think about it. Our smartphones, computers, televisions, and countless other electronic devices rely on electricity. Medical equipment, transportation systems, and even our food supply chains depend on a steady flow of those amazing electrons. But the story of electricity doesn't end there. Remember what I said about innovation? Scientists and engineers are constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible with electricity. From electric vehicles and high-speed trains to advancements in renewable energy and energy storage, the future of electricity is brimming with potential. One particularly exciting area of development is wireless energy transfer. Imagine charging your devices without the need for cords or outlets. While still in its early stages, wireless power transfer has the potential to revolutionize the way we live, work, and interact with our environment. Well, there you have it, explorers. We've journeyed through the fascinating history of electricity, from those early sparks of static electricity to the interconnected grids that power our modern world. We've seen how brilliant minds like Franklin, Volta, Faraday, Edison, and Tesla paved the way for the electrifying technologies we rely on today. Remember, science is a never-ending quest for knowledge and understanding. If you enjoyed this electrifying journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content. Stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of science.